Let's move in to the how, okay? This is the good stuff, the good juicy stuff. When you get to this part, I want you to take some time and make sure you're focused, okay? Put on your focus blend, essential oil, right? Maybe go to the coffee shop, maybe just say, hey babe, can you, keep the kids outside for a little bit? I'm gonna be in the office or in my room. So how do I create a simple and spacious schedule for my own self, right? Take some time to write out your values for each area of your life and answer the questions that we talked about in the first section. And then, so here's the areas that you're going to cover, right? Like your family and your homeschool, your spirituality, business and finance, and then your health and wellness. And if you have some other areas that you want to throw in, feel free to do that. But how do you want to feel in each of these areas? Okay. Start to notice the common themes. What are they? Feel free to share with us in the group. Okay. Now you're going to take an inventory on everything you do in your day-to-day. This is where a little bit of work comes in. So literally you're going to write down like everything you're doing each day and like how long it took, right? So I know this isn't like normal for us to do, like we're not used to doing this. And so I would encourage you to maybe like set some reminders on your phone, some check-in times each day. So where maybe you have like, a little piece of paper that you're writing this stuff on. And so that you can go in and like record, like, oh, what did I do the last like 3 hours? Or, and like pay attention, like how much time did you spend scrolling on Facebook? 5 minutes, 15 minutes, like write it down, like write every little detail down. How long did you spend like cleaning up the kitchen? What were, like, were you doing two things at once? Were you talking on the phone? Like, how many times did you have to change the diaper or nurse the baby or break up the fights or whatever, right? Like really see where your time is going. This is going to be super, super helpful, like when you're creating what your spacious schedule looks like. Because if you're underestimating how long things take and then you're like over scheduling, then you're always going to feel like you're running behind, you're not getting enough done, and you're just going to be like in that scarcity deficit mindset all the time, and you don't want to be there. That is not going to cultivate spaciousness. That is not going to cultivate ease. And it's not going to feel simple. It's going to feel hard. You're going to feel rushed. You're going to feel overwhelmed. And you're going to feel like disappointed in yourself, right? Because you're like not getting all the things that you had scheduled in your scheduler done, right? And that is not what this is about. So this is like, let's get real. Let's not tell the stories. Let's not pretend that we don't have to do stuff that we really have to do. Let's not pretend that our kids aren't going to like, maybe eat up some of our time here and there, and that's okay. Right? So we're saying like, okay, I just know that I actually need this much time to, when like in the morning, like from 6 in the morning until 10 in the morning, I'm like, I'm not available, unless you want to talk to me while I'm cleaning the kitchen. Because I know that my toddler is going to make a mess. I know that some kid is going to want at least 2 breakfasts, I just like know how my mornings go, and I want them to be like relaxed, and I don't want to feel like I have to yell at people to do things because I, scheduled something at 9 a.m. when I'm really not ready for it. So this is all about like reducing your stress, right? Okay. So you're going to record everything. It's going to show you how you're spending your time and your energy. Remember, feel free to like tap into the like, how did I feel about doing these things? Did I have to force myself, or was it easy? Was it fun? Did I like it, or did it suck? So do this for a week, okay? Do this for 7 days. Like I want you to, because there's one day you might do it and there's like some fluke thing that happens, right? And that's hard to gauge off of one day. And if 7 days feels too much, then maybe you try 5. But like, I would try to do like, you know, some of your core days. And like, you know, you might even have like a weekly rhythm like we do, you know, like Mondays are work days and Thursdays or Wednesdays are work days, depending on when our nanny's available. So, you know, some of our days look different. So, and they will for you too, right? Like the days that you run your errands versus the days that you guys are at home all day. So just pay attention. Where did you overestimate? Where did you underestimate how long something would take? Okay. So once we've completed that, you're going to see what you're currently doing that isn't aligned with the values that you set for yourself. Okay. In the first exercise. And then you're going to try to remove as many of those misaligned activities as possible. Okay, I know you're going to be like, oh, but some of this I can't. Like, I hate doing the dishes and I hate doing the laundry, but it has to get done. I get it. I get that. Yes, I know that some of them are going to feel impossible to remove, but I want you to keep an open mind that maybe your oldest child takes over the laundry. Maybe your husband is willing to help do the laundry. Maybe not every day, maybe some of the days. You know, I know for my own self, like my husband started doing the dishes in the evening. Like I do them in the morning, he does them in the evening. And then my oldest son helps unload the dishwasher each day. You know, one of my kids feeds the dogs in the morning and the night. You know, we have the kids like pick up the basement or pick up the living room. My husband also started like kind of doing like a sweep, like he'll sweep the floors when he does the kitchen. And like we just kind of started having this, but where I used to like do all of that by myself. The other thing is like, I literally just got rid of so many of our clothes so that there's not as many in circulation, right? I don't mind washing and drying the clothes, but I don't love folding them or putting them away. But I'm working on it. And now that there's less, like it doesn't feel so overwhelming. Now I still have some work to do on our socks. I'll let you know whenever I get there. But you know, I used to not like doing the dishes, but now I'm like, well, but maybe I don't like doing the dishes, but what I do like is having a clean kitchen. So I like the way that looks. It makes me feel good. So focus on what you do want. And maybe you don't like the work that you do. Maybe your husband hates his job, right? And if you're like thinking like, well, how can my husband just quit his job, right? Well, you start to create a plan. How could this look different? What else is there? You know, and you just put this intention out into the universe. And again, like this is where mindset comes into play, and just be open to the possibilities. Because if it is aligned for you, then I am not kidding you, the universe will make it happen, and it can happen quickly. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, there might be a solution that you just like can't even see yet, right? But like, who knows? Somebody might just like come to you and be like, oh, hey, what do you want? And you're like, oh my gosh, that solves this problem of me having to do this thing that I don't like anymore. You know, maybe the neighborhood girl comes over and folds your laundry for you or does the dishes a couple nights a week, you know, and you pay her like minimum wage, right? Like there's so many possibilities. Okay. Oh, yes. So sometimes when things feel hard and we're like, I don't want to do that, I don't like doing that thing, it might just be like the system, right? Like for example, for me, like there being too many clothes in circulation all the time, and the laundry felt daunting and overwhelming all the time. Now I'm like, it's like a game almost. I'm like, how can I like keep the hamper empty? It's kind of silly. Or keep the laundry room like baskets from like not having clothes in them, because it's doable now. Like I can wash 2 or 3 loads in a day, and then they're like all cleared out again. Of course, that's a never-ending thing, but you know, or maybe it's just I do that like twice a week or whatever works for you, right? I have clothes for 7 people, so I don't know what your situation is. Yeah, so there you might also need to like look at delegating. Again, like I mentioned, delegating to your husband, delegating to your children, delegating to the neighbor girl. Maybe you hire a nanny like we do. Maybe you hire a housekeeper. I know some of you do that. Maybe you delegate to Amazon or the grocery store for delivering your groceries, right? Like that's a form of delegation. Let's see. Okay, so habits. Maybe you just have like a really good like you create some new habits. Like that morning routine that I have is a habit of like how I cook. I cook like a full breakfast each morning just because that's really important to me and that's what I like. And then I do the dishes. Like, well, I do it my self-care, I do cooking, I do the cleanup. And then, there's some things that happen in between. I'm usually like listening to like an audiobook or a podcast or something. So I do some personal development during that time. I like to sit down and have myself a nice cup of tea. And then I know that I have to change diapers and I might have to like, break up a fight or something, or just redirect the kids a little bit. Make sure that they get their teeth brushed. I know that all of those things have to happen in the morning. The dogs have to get fed, right? And I oversee making sure that that gets done. Let's see. There was another thing I was going to say to that. Oh yeah, so like the systems too. So there's things that we might have to create: habits, systems, delegation. So systems for me, what that looks like is I like to be very organized. So I literally, you guys might think I'm crazy. That's okay. I literally, in my cabinets, have my dishes, like my lids are all like organized in a row. Um, the certain types of lids all go with each other. And so whenever the dishes get unloaded, like my son knows to like put the same like with like. Like my dishes, like if we have some mason jars, like the small mason jars go here, the big mason jars go here, the nice glass cups go here, the tall ones and then like the shorter ones go in different places and they all go with each other. Like they're not just all like thrown in there mixed together. My towels get folded a certain way and they go in, in the linen closet a certain way. So these are like just some systems that I have in place. The toys, each, like everything has their home. Like the kids' books have homes, our books have a home. There are just little systems like that all through our house. Like in my closet, like everything is color coded. And then it's like, so it goes like sleeveless, short sleeve, long sleeve, like that, and for all the shirts, and then there's pants, and then there's dresses and skirts. So like everything has a place. and so I have my own little systems. Like if the laundry hamper is full, then me or somebody else, my husband, will take it down to the basement. Then I sort everything into their piles, like per colors, and then I wash them like that, right? Like I just have my own systems that I use for those things. I even have like little systems like that with my towels and like dirty towels coming from the kitchen, or how I dry things, and just so many different things that I do like that. But I do these things the same way every time. And then I can teach other people my system. So that is why I am teaching you this scheduling simple spacious schedule. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And you guys feel free to ask questions if you need any elaboration on those. And if anybody needs like really in-depth work on this, like this is where my one-on-one coaching comes in play. So I am available for that if you're ready to go there with it. Okay. All right. So here's another thing. I want to give you permission to like let go of things in your life. So let's say you maybe like overcommitted to something and you just need to like gracefully bow out. Or maybe you signed your kid up for an activity that he doesn't really like and now it's become a fight for you to get him there. Just let him drop it. Like just tell the person you said yes to, I'm sorry, this isn't working for me and I have to quit. don't feel like you have to like stay committed to something when it's like at a detriment for you. Okay? Like, or because, you know, it's like from this maybe even like egoic place of like not wanting to disappoint someone. Like, you're disappointing yourself and staying within, right? So just let it go. Okay? You have permission. Granted. Okay? And because remember, the more you force yourself to have to do things that you really don't want to do, you're like spending so much extra energy. And like, where else could that energy and time go? Into doing something that brings you pleasure, that you really enjoy, that lights you up. Yeah, that feels easy. This is the trade off. This is that opportunity cost, right? Okay. So if you run into yourself, or if you find yourself saying, like, but I have to do that thing. Well, I challenge you to question why you think you have to do it. Who said you have to? And just remember, the goal here is to like unburden ourselves, right? Like, let go of some of these unnecessary responsibilities that we've placed on ourselves. So I have these 3 questions that I actually learned from Kate Northrup. And so she says, ask yourself, does this really need to be done? Does this really need to be done by me? And if yes, just ask, how can this be easy, fun, and simplified? Okay. Now, once you've stripped away all of those non-serving tasks that are no longer in alignment with your values, you can start to piece back your schedule with only those essentials that are aligned with your values. Okay. And remember, if it doesn't align with your values, it's not essential. So, how does your schedule look now? How does it feel now? Okay. Let us know in the group. Okay. I know this might take some time getting used to. That's totally okay. So be sure to watch last month's tutorial on upper limiting to prevent any self-sabotage from happening as you go through this process. And this is a process, okay? It's a journey. This is an unlayering, like we're peeling back the layers. So you always can go back in and reassess. Like, and in fact, I encourage you to do that every few months. Keep asking, just always ask, you know, how can I simplify? Is this necessary? Does this align with my values? And then start, you know, making sure that you're creating the systems and you're delegating and you're doing those things to take that burden off of you, because you want to thrive in this lifestyle. You want to succeed and you want to have all the things that you want. You want to have the homeschooling opportunity, and you want to have your children to have a rich education. And you also want to bring your gifts to the world. You know, you have these divine gifts, and this is your purpose too. And so this is going to allow you to do that. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna end this with the affirmation, kind of the toolkit essentially. So this is what's going to be in the toolkit, but I just want you to hear it so it can maybe sink in a little deeper, right? So I want you to say this with me 10 times a day this whole month. Okay. I deserve a spacious, joyful, easy life. Life gets to be easy for me. Let's say it again. I deserve a spacious, joyful, easy life. Life gets to be easy for me. I deserve a spacious, joyful, easy life. Life gets to be easy for me. Let that sink in. How does that feel when you say that? How do you feel in your body? Do you believe it can be true? All right. Here's a few of the journal prompts. Actually, for the journal prompts, you can just download, you can just download those off of the toolkit. Those will be in there. But make sure you do those. Those are going to be really helpful, and they go right along with all of this. So kind of helping you get to some of the underlying stuff that might be holding you back or that you haven't thought of, or just who knows what might show up for you. Okay. All right. That was a lot. I know it was. Be gentle with yourself. Take some time. You have the whole month. You have as long as you need. In fact, there is no time limit on when you can do this. Let us know in the group if you need any support. We are here. Okay. If you need accountability, let us know. We will hold you accountable. Okay. Love you. Bye.